Hello, good evening, dobro večer. I've been sent these lovely questions to answer. Sorry, I should probably introduce myself first. My name's Chris Dale. I played bass on the now famous Bruce Dickinson show in 1994 in Sarajevo, which became the subject of the film Screen from Sarajevo, which I hope you've already seen. If you haven't seen it, go and see it. It's incredible. But I've been sent these lovely questions, and let's get straight into them. Question number one. You played in Sarajevo in 1994. That's true. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of war in Bosnia? To be honest, straight away, it's a whole kaleidoscope of images and emotions. Images from some of my memories of what we saw over there. Also some of the obvious press photos that were out at the time from the siege of Sarajevo, and also the massacre in Srebrenica. Those memories, those images, you just can't clear them out of your mind, can you? Also a whole kaleidoscope of emotions at the same time. I mean, obviously, like fear, cold, hunger. I mean, we were hungry too. The UN weren't eating very well either, and they didn't feed us very much. The pity for the people, but also, insanely enough, the humour and jokes. I found it really bizarre how the people of Sarajevo seem to find humour in all of this somehow, some kind of dark humour. And that's one of the things I love about the Bosnian people. And I think we kind of share it in the UK and especially in Wales. This dark sense of humour. And I remember one of the British UN soldiers told me, he said a friend of his had the top of his finger shot off, probably by a stray bullet from a mile away or something, and the top of the finger just sprung off. And his reaction was, it was lucky I wasn't scratching my testicles at the time, wasn't it? And here we are in a war zone with people making stupid jokes around the place. So yeah, a whole mix of crazy emotions, which of course are still with me and always will be. You know, that's just part of it, isn't it? The next question. Did you have any special feelings while playing the same songs you played back then in Sarajevo? Yes, last weekend I played a gig at Sloga with Sirta and Bilic and Metal Heart. We played a load of metal covers for the fun of it, some Iron Maiden and some Whitesnake and stuff. But also, yeah, we did revisit some Bruce Dickinson songs that I'd played back in town in 1994. To me, the emotion isn't really in the music itself. The emotion for me is just coming back to Sarajevo and now seeing it a beautiful city and being able to play a great fun gig there without any fear of anyone being shot at or shelled on the way home. So that in itself is beautiful, and it is wonderful and welcoming for me. The emotion about playing those songs, in all honesty, for some of it is, I haven't played those songs in 30 years, and some of the emotion is like, oh, do I actually know how this goes still? That's kind of the main emotion with those ones, sorry. Next question. I was in the studio recently with Nenad Kovacevic. This is true, my good friend Nesho, and Feđa Štukan, another good friend of mine. Can you tell us more about this project? Yeah, very briefly, I don't know if you probably know Feđa Štukan. He's got an amazing book called Blank. Please read it. It really is an insane story. I knew it was going to be an insane story. And one of the things I do in my time, you probably see behind me, I've got a bit of a library there. I write books and I edit books for people. And I just volunteered to edit Feđa's book because I knew it was going to be great. So I did the English version of it. And of course, we were already friends. He was in the opening band Almanac in 1994 that opened for us in Sarajevo. And he's in the film Screen from Sarajevo. So we knew each other already. And I worked on the book together and became really close over that. And now he's doing a musical project to kind of accompany the book in possibly a theatre format or something. But also possibly to release the album. We're not sure. Alex Elena's playing drums on it as well, which is obviously wonderful. We're not sure how the music's going to come out in the end, but we're just recording it. Feđa's written these great songs that kind of go with the whole theme. So you'll get to hear that in the next year or so, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to it. And of course, it means I have to come back to Sarajevo to keep recording. No problem at all. I'll be there. Next question. Do you think metal music has a bright future? I mean, I think we're in a very interesting phase in metal music where the old classic bands, you know, they're all going. Motorhead's gone. Black Sabbath's gone. Kiss have done their farewell show. Iron Maiden probably got a couple more years, maybe. AC/DC possibly another year. And we're seeing new bands are having to come up and headline festivals and stuff. And I think that's an exciting time for young people. I mean, I'm old, and I grew up with all those bands that I've just mentioned. Those are the ones I relate most strongly to. But no, there's loads of great new bands coming through. And also in Sarajevo itself, you know, hopefully we can get more bands to come and play there, because not too many people come there. And of course, as I've said, it's a beautiful city to play. So yeah, I think the future is bright for metal, really. Next question. How did aggressive music help many Sarajevans cope with the hardships of war? That was an interesting one that we saw in Screen for Me Sarajevo, where some of the locals, including their show I was just talking about, were talking about how they listened to some pretty hard, aggressive music with some pretty aggressive lyrics, like Killing in the Name of and stuff, while going through that kind of experience. And I guess it just helped them as a release. By contrast, I once met a British Army soldier who'd been serving, I think he'd been in Iraq or Afghanistan or something, and he said he listened to Spandau Ballet with his friends before going into action. I found that really odd. Listen to metal, really? Come on, guys. It's an aggressive, pretty full-on experience, you know. I don't see how Spandau Ballet fit in there, much as I love Tony and the Spandau guys, but I don't really see them fitting in a war zone. But hey, actually, Tony Hadley played in Bosnia. Just after the war finished, he came over and did a few shows in, I think, Bosnia and Kosovo and a couple of places. So yeah, there's always a connection there, isn't there? Last question. What does it feel like to be an honorary Sarajevan? Oh my God. It feels beautiful, the welcome I get there now. When I first went to Sarajevo in 1994, I never thought I'd ever go back there on holiday. And of course, because of making the film, I went back there a lot. I became friends with all the cast and crew in the film, and then met loads of friends in bars. And it's just a beautiful scene, and it's lovely, the welcome I get there. I'm so grateful. It's really, you know, healed a lot for me inside. And so I will always come back to Sarajevo. I made the mistake. I was warned. I drank from the fountain. There you go. Sarajevo is in me, and I'm coming back forever, it seems. And it's certainly not a complaint. There we go. That's all for now. Thanks for the questions, guys. Hope that helped a little bit. All the best. I'll see you soon. And quite literally at the bar.